Right, Shalom. Giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the men of Great Millstone, apostles on down. Shalom to the hopeful elect and the brothers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity. That's your brother Yakana coming out with the we're gonna talk about the mammon, the money, the riches, and seeking after them, and how that's just such a huge snare. I think that's probably, it's got to be if not the top, maybe the J thing, the G. I don't even like saying the name, the G thing, J thing. But mammon, man, that's got to be a close runner-up, or if not bigger than the J thing, man. JC thing. Mammon. It's just ultimately, the way I perceive it, it's just replacing, or an attempt to replace the Lord. It's like a middleman between. An attempt to be some kind of middleman between the Lord and the people of
mammon, treasure,
the Lord's chosen, which
riches,
are the Israelites, the Negroes,
where it
Latinos,
is personified and opposed
Latinos,
to the
Native
Most
Americans.
High.
So if you choose to follow mammon, you're choosing an idol. That's an idol. That's idol worship. If you choose to say, man, I gotta get this money, I gotta do this, I gotta make sure that all my bills are paid, and it's a false security. You're kind of putting your trust and your hopes in yourself.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 28. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch.
You kind of worshiping yourself as an idol as well, and you're worshiping money because you think money's gonna do it for you. As soon as I get my money right, everything's gonna be all good, and that's a huge thing in Babylon the Great, which is America, which is gonna be destroyed, Lord willing, soon. So I got a couple scriptures here. Let me see. This is a very popular one. This is Luke 16 and 13. No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve mammon and the Most High. And I don't know how in the world. And so you can't serve both at the same time, man. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. That's choosing powers. You're dividing your mind, and the Lord said a double-minded, the scriptures say a double-minded mind is unstable in all his ways. So let's go down to verse 15. Let's read through verse 14. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men. So that's what a lot of our people do. They try to justify themselves before men. We kind of equate that to keeping up with the Joneses, comparing yourself, competing with the next man, comparing yourself to the next person. And that spirit of competition is heavy, man. It's heavy in everywhere, everywhere. It's just, you know, I can't stand that spirit of competition, man, because it especially within your own family, it's destructive. It's a house for harboring, you're harboring hateful and, feelings against your own nation, ultimately. And we're put on this earth to serve the Most High and to build His servants, which are the elect. You know, we want to build the nation up, and so that spirit of competition it erodes at that, man. It degrades that whole notion, that whole idea of building your nation. You know, loving your neighbor.
And so that spirit of competition goes into basically it's very closely related to covetousness. You know, when people compete with one another, a lot of times one person is trying to take the spot of another person. So they're like shadowing that person. They're stealing their ideas and they're swagger jacking and doing all these types of things to try to take that top spot. You know, competing with the next one. It's like that's how you get that whole crabs in a barrel concept. You know, that a lot of our people have, especially Judah. We have that crabs in a barrel mentality. You know, you look at the next man and you want what he got. You want to be like him. You want to be better than him. You know, you almost want him to fail so that you feel better about yourself. You know, that's how these jakes are out here in the world. So this is 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away.
Okay, and it reads on, but the Most High knoweth your hearts, for that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of the Most High. So that's right. What's highly esteemed among men is an abomination to the Most High. So all these things that people lust after, women, cars, money, fame, all these houses, you know, even land, and all these things are an abomination to the Most High.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong. You know, the scriptures do say, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. So we are to use the world and not abuse it. But also to keep in mind, this is 1 John 2 and 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
Their vanity, especially in Babylon the Great, Egypt, Sodom, which is spiritual Egypt and Sodom, especially in this place, in the format that this place packages, quote, riches. You know, a lot of these riches ain't riches at all. They're illusions. And as soon as you think you got them, you're either in a cage, you're either on puppet strings, or you're either or you find out that it was just a mirage, and you have nothing in your hand. So let's get first. This is one of my scriptures that I've been meditating on for the past couple of weeks. 1 Timothy 6:9. But they that be rich, Salakia, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. And we see that with Nick Cannon, Deshaun Jackson's, Kanye West's of the world. They get up there and they're just basically snared up, man. That's what I call puppet strings, man. The higher you go up, and you know, Big alluded to it, the more money, the more problems. He's talking about them puppet strings, man. Them puppet strings. They pulling you every which way, man. Oh, but riches was supposed to deliver you from something. It was supposed, when I get my money, you can't tell me shit. When you just snared up in a ball of traps, you know. But you know, then they say, well, that's just how life goes. You know, no, man. You got to seek after the spiritual things of life. For the love of money, this is verse 10, 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. You see that? For the love of money is the root of all evil. And, you know, brothers harp on the fact that the love of money, the love, you know, it's, you know, but you got to use a little bit of common sense, man.